Hey guys, welcome back! As mentioned at the end of last episode, today we are starting big by making the walls that are going to surround our new project. And considering what I want to build in here, we are going to be pretty much surrounding the whole island with these walls, only leaving a few bits here and there where I have some ideas for adding things around the outside. So we have a pretty big job ahead of us. But with a few hours at my stone generator behind me, I'm pretty sure these shulker boxes should have everything I need to build the basis of our walls. So let's just get building. And many hours and an awful lot of blocks later, we have our walls. And I am aware you may have a few questions, so let's just rattle through some of those. And the main thing that you may be wondering is why the walls start relatively low down here and then get so much bigger at the back. And that is because of the tiers or layers that I think I've mentioned before. I really don't want this place to just be flat. I really like the idea of having different districts at different heights. Which brings us neatly onto the other question you may have, which is why the walls cut out at various points and don't go all the way to the bottom. And this is because of the different heights I want the layers to be at, with each layer slightly higher than the previous one, which should hopefully give a good effect, and building the walls all the way to the bottom when they aren't going to be visible just feels like a bit of a waste, so I thought this way would be a bit more efficient. I did also spend quite a long time toying with the idea of texturing the walls and adding some details, and while I'm not totally ruling it out, every time I tried to add something else in, the walls just started to feel a little bit messy. They just started to draw way more attention than I wanted them to, and not because they looked great, but because they looked ever so slightly off somehow. So I figured let's keep it nice and simple and let the rest of the project do all the hard work. And as for the spaces that we didn't put inside the walls, I mentioned wanting to have a couple of details outside, and the main one is here just outside the front gate, and I really want to build a dock here, preferably with a ship-in port, but we'll have to see if I can pull that off because that is way outside of my comfort zone, but I do think it would add quite a lot and honestly be quite a fun challenge. And the other section I left outside is quite a lot smaller, and I think I want to add a little lookout tower over here, probably connected by a little bridge, hence the gap in the crenellations, but there is plenty of time to work out the details later. For now, I want to turn my attention to this little section here, and you might be wondering why the wall is going over this hole in such a strange shape, and while I could have just filled this hole and called it good, I think I have a better idea, so let's give it a go. have our landslide. As soon as I saw the shape of this hole, I immediately knew I wanted to turn this area into a landslide because it just felt so perfect. Plus, having a landslide right from the start is a little bit of a way of reminding myself of something that I really want to try and focus on in this project. And that is making the world feel real and lived in and dynamic, I guess? Even something small like this landslide, at least to me, makes the place feel alive and like time is passing and things are actually happening. Obviously, I can't really make things dynamically change in real time, at least on a scale like this, but trying to add details like this in is good enough for me. And the other part of my plan to make the world feel lived in, outside of having these more dynamic areas, is to really focus on the details. Or, well, I guess they're very linked ideas in many ways, but I really do want to try making things detailed. So that's things like not just having the caution tape, but having the signs as well. Or, more prominently, this little work area. I do think I may end up adding more workers, possibly including some down in the landslide itself who are picking up the rubble, but when I was thinking about adding the landslide, I tried to think through the implications, and the most obvious one was that people of the town would be trying to clear it up and ultimately fix it. So we've got people picking up the rubble and bringing it over to this work area, and then new bricks are being made, and plenty are all ready and waiting to be put into place once the area is cleared. And while we have used the armour stand datapack a few times in various projects, I am planning on using it quite a lot more in this project because I think it will really help with achieving the level of detail I'm trying to go for. Obviously, the workers themselves are one very big use of the armour stands, but we also used them to fill these composters with little bits of stone and rubble, and I really want to use both of these sorts of tactics quite a lot in this project. I mean, I definitely don't want to overdo it, but when I think adding something like this, or even a different use of armour stands would improve the project, I want to try and just go for it. That way, hopefully I can both make the project better and also learn to use the armour stands better, which would be amazing. I always love to learn new things and slowly seeing improvement as time passes. And hopefully we'll be able to see some more of these details I've been talking about next time, because I want to work on decorating the tops of our walls. Like I said, I do want to keep the walls themselves quite simple, but I think adding some details to the top would really help with making the project feel alive. Plus, I think I also want to add a nether portal earlier in this project because I waited way too long to add that to our swamp project, so I am not making the same mistake again. So I hope you're looking forward to all of that, but for today, I think I'm going to leave this episode here. And we did some very good work today. We built our walls and we got started with our detailed work. So I am very happy. So until next time, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye!